welcome to another exciting episode of ET Studios presents Future Brands of India in association with ET Retail. I am Himanshi Tiwari and today we have a very special guest, Akhil Jain, the Executive Director of Jain Amar Clothing, known for the iconic brand Madame. Welcome sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Himanshi. How are you doing today?
I am very good. How are you doing?
Everything is good.
Alright, so this series promises unfiltered conversations with the visionaries behind digital-first brands, shedding light on their triumphs, challenges, and the transformative power of technology, starting with the origin story of Madame and how it has evolved over the years, sir.
Okay, so we started Madame in the early 90s. We are a vertically integrated company, started from manufacturing to wholesaling to opening your own exclusive store back in 2002. We don't boast of it, but probably we are one of the first Indian homegrown brands to get into exclusive retail formats. And today, I would say 200 months of existence in retail, and we are about 200 stores.
Yeah, so Madame is a household name apparently. Now please help us understand, or please enlighten us on how the brand has evolved over the years with respect to the advancement in technology and the changing customer preferences.
See, a consumer has always been the center of our attention every now and then. I always quote this thing. So back in early 90s when, North Campus, Delhi, for example, that girl who was my customer today, and she's a mom probably of 2, she would have matured to be about 40, 45. Yeah. She's still my customer. Her daughter is now my customer. So customer has always been the center of attention with this brand. And with technology, yes, it's helping us, get more insights into what is the behavior pattern of this customer to service her better.
Yeah, I'll circle back to the customer behavior pattern, sir. But this customer story is a great success story when it comes to customer retention. So how does Madame do that?
Because we are a fashion brand, we have a story to tell to the consumer. I have a loyalty base of consumer which actually loves the product and likes the product. So it is all about getting to understand her very, very minute requirements about her changing preferences in terms of what she wants to wear, what she doesn't want to wear. For example, I remember back in early 2000s, for example, North Campus, Delhi, again I'll give you a very good example. Once the girl was out of the college, she had to switch to salwar kameez.
Yeah.
And today the things have changed. Yeah. So we had an option of switching over to that kind of category back then, but we did not because we knew my customer. The customer is going to evolve, and we kept evolving with that consumer, and today we are trying to offer whatever she requires in the fashion sphere.
Yeah, you're talking about brand storytelling. So how important is brand storytelling in this competitive landscape? And we have recently seen this wintertime campaign with Tara Sotaria, right? It shows that the brand is reaching out to the young masses. So what is the strategy ahead?
We did a beautiful consumer research, and obviously every brand does it every 3 to 4 years, how the customer has evolved and how the brand is the brand in sync with the evolving customer. So what we understood here, because we've been there for a longer time, almost 3 decades in existence, so am I going to mature? Or do I need to address the customer who is evolving now? When we see statistics where we say, okay, about 60-65% of India's population is, a kind of Gen Z or, below 35 years of age. So that's the new customer that every brand has to address because they're going to be there longer. Yeah. So that's why all brands probably, especially in fashion, they're all kind of pivoting slightly towards, slightly handling a slightly lower segment of consumer that they were actually addressing before.
Yeah. Now that the demography has also changed, and India is apparently a young country. So I guess more and more campaigns we are looking forward for the young masses.
Absolutely, we keep track of a certain global brands, who actually targeting alphas now. Yeah. As an Indian brand, we are still targeting the Gen Zs to mature to us, but they're targeting alpha. So that's the level of maturity that brands have evolved and will need to evolve.
Yeah. Talking about the technology part now. So it plays a crucial role when it comes to the D2C landscape, and India is a success story when it comes to D2C companies, right? So how has Madame leveraged technology to enhance the customer experience that you're talking about?
Per se, see, first, very important when we talk about the back-end thing is, getting that right information about my consumer, about her buying patterns, about her frequency of visits, about, what category she is buying. Technology for a brand like us has helped us to customize the kind of way we reach out to the consumer. Normally, cut back to 10 years back, a decade back, a lot of marketing used to be blanket kind of marketing. You're putting, say for example, I've launched a new collection and I would pass it to across the geography of India to all my consumers. But thanks to technology, thanks to a lot of CRM tools that we have deployed over the years, so I know what Himanshi requires and what she's been buying. So I know, should I pitch in her for the same product, or should I just give her an extension of the product in spite of pitching on to her that, okay, you buy this from me, that for me. Over marketing is one problem that a customer goes away from the brand now. So with technology, the main focus is how to give the exact message to consumer so that she retains with me in spite of saying, okay, no, this brand is trying to push sales to me, I don't want to look for that brand now.
Yeah, there are too many options in the market right now that perhaps we as a consumers need personalization angles from the brands.
Absolutely.
Right?
I normally do a lot of town halls with my own people, and there's one electronic company that I'm a big fan of, for example. They've never marketed me for the product which I already buy from them, because they understand my pattern and they knew that I'm buying this product. So they did not sell me that product. So they sell me something, for example, they sell me games which I never bought from them.
Yeah. All right. So with the rise of e-commerce, and you've talked so much about having digital presence and creating strategies while looking into the future. So when the pandemic ended, India had already risen its e-commerce and digital presence, right? Pandemic kind of accelerated the whole digital presence for India. So how is your company adapting this evolution, and what kind of strategies are you coming with to stay relevant and competitive in the online space?
See, pandemic actually, became a boon for a lot of, especially retail entities, because we had already envisaged, doing the digital transformations, but everybody parked it for, okay, the next 5 years or next 7 years, we'll, reach to a certain place. But with the pandemic coming, everybody had to accelerate that journey because offline was not working. The consumer has still to be reached, otherwise the consumer will forget you. So everybody had to accelerate those journeys, and then people who could invest in proprietary technology, they invested there. Some brands who could not invest in proprietary technology, they took on the SaaS technology way, and the ultimate aim was that I should not miss communicating with my consumer.
All right. So talking so much about technologies, what is your idea when it comes to the debate of build versus buy that we were discussing perhaps before this interview? Yes. So is it build for the retail brands or buy for the retail brands, or the combination of both of these terms?
See, again, as we discussed, it is more about evolution. When the organization, for example, I'm a retailer, I'm a mature retailer. I understand my retail, I understand my consumer, I understand my product, I understand merchandising. But when we jumped into the e-commerce online sphere, for example, it was new for a lot of online retailers who were not digital first. So it was so to mature to that level, we had to buy a lot of technology on the SaaS basis. Okay, that where I can plug and play and help me reach my consumer in a better, or do my fulfillments better. Now, say 3 years now from pandemic, a lot of companies have matured. They've understood the nuances of this technology, and they say, okay, I understand that out of this 20 or 100 things available in the market, I am actually utilizing only 3 of them. Why not build it myself? Because I have matured enough to build my technology, and why pay per user, per transaction cost? Save on my bottom line.
Yeah, so basically a combination of both build versus buy. It's a cycle that you were telling me, right?
Yes, it's all a cycle. So 4 years now, 4 years later, 4 years now. So the brands, I attended one of a really great retail events last week, and if the buzzword was, okay, now the brands which have evolved, no, we are going back to creating our own tech stacks till we reach this level, and probably once another 4 years, the technology is gonna change again. So people will again start buying from service providers. Another few years probably we'll come back to our own tech stacks. I think this is an ever-going process.
Yeah, so if you could give us any 2 specific trends or shift in consumer behaviors that surprised you probably, or if you can share, 2 most relevant trends in the D2C landscape in India right now.
So I would say, discovery online, buy offline is one trend that, we are following very, very, stringently. This we have seen because of lately, because e-commerce in India, or probably elsewhere in the world as well, is is very promotion driven. It lacks customer experiences. So probably all the marketing, everything that happens around is about, okay, who's giving me a better discount, or who's giving me coupons over and above the product. So for brands, especially who have omnipresence, so their major agenda is how so what my discovery happens online, and how I bring that consumer back to the customer experience into offline or omni-channel retail. So that becomes the buzzword for us now.
Yeah. But how do you maintain a balance between brick and mortar spaces and your digital platforms?
See, a lot of brands are evolution. We will not say we are still there, but we are also in the evolution phase of, trying to give a seamless experience to consumer across all the formats. For a lot of brands like us today, still e-commerce is more of a liquidation channel than giving that experience to the consumer. But yes, with technologies, with tech stacks actually happening, going your way, with brands evolving. So again, our focus is, okay, how can I provide a seamless experience to my consumer across my offline retail, across my brand.com, across my presence with multi-brand outlets or large format retails. It's just not about D2C, and we're dealing through other B2B channels as well. But then, because the consumer is buying my product, how can I deliver the same experience to her across all channels? So this is where the consumers are, the brands are focusing now.
But do you see the consumer preferences changing when it comes to different cities?
Yes. So I would say, because of 5G, I would say, the exposure across the stratas of society, across the geographies of the country is very similar. Okay, the particular cities might be slightly conservative and they might be a little late to adapt certain things, and certain cities probably but every city has a very small percentage of a very different class of people, and this is what the brands look at. For a brand like me who is in a semi-premium category, for example, in a city, I don't need 100% population to come to me as a consumer. I need a fraction of that population to come to me as a consumer, and this is what I target at.
All right. So are there any particular technological innovations that have proven to be of benefit for Madame, be it in inventory management systems or supply chains or reaching out to the masses?
Again, yes, there's the combination of a lot of things that we as a brand have done, and a lot of brands try to do. Be it deploying business analytics tool onto the information that you have. My loyalty program is about, say, 17 years old. Cut back 5 years and never utilized that information. I never created it into information. It was always data for me. But once we deployed those business intelligence tools onto that data, it started giving us a lot of information. It helped us see, okay, this category is actually getting obsolete. Let's go away from this category, but let's get into this category. Because again, it is all about consumer experience. Now we came up with the concept of flash collections. Anything that is in trend now, and somehow our designers missed catching that trend 6 months back. How agile are we to hop onto that trend and deliver it to the consumer? And it is never always product.
Yeah. And also, I want to come back to the technology part at this point. As we were talking about that, AI is an overused word, right? So please help us understand, even the retailers are using AI, and up to what extent?
See, yes, because the quality of data actually defines how AI is going to give you the outputs. And with brands evolving, so for example, a brand like me who's been on one particular set of data input system for the last 12 years, 15 years, so it's become quite easier for me when I migrated to a standardized program or a standardized system. So it became easier for a company like me, to start getting some, meaningful insights from that information, from that data, to start saying, okay, can I project? Can I project? But then when the data input is haphazard, so probably somebody was using a CRM tool of X company 1 year, for 2 years, and then a Y company for 2 years. So when they actually try to use the machine learning concept onto the information, the results are not as required. And as brands, we also need to evolve that, what kind of analysis or projections we require from this AI or machine learning system. It will not give you everything. It will only solve your specific needs as of now. And you have to be very specific on what needs you need to follow.
Yeah, so AI is not going to be your problem solver at the end of the day. It's going to be your enabler or a friend in your office, and that's how you have to use AI.
Yes, so certain places it's going to actually eat away some jobs. Yes, that is the truth of the moment. But on certain things that require a lot of human intervention, like projections, AI will never tell you how the weather's gonna be, how would this Diwali be with the next Diwali. You have to use a bit of projection and a lot of gut feeling to that. That concept.
Probably AI can give you the data, but how are you analyzing that data depends on your
the case is, what queries are you putting to AI? That you have to be very smart. And as brands, as consumers of technology, we're also evolving to have AI to a better use than just a buzzword.
Yeah, just a buzzword. All right. So are there any specific technological trends you're keeping a close eye on?
Smart fitting room solution is one technology that you will be seeing it very soon, this summer only,
Oh,
on a few
wow.
stores, that can the customer, and if she's in the trial room, and at times you have long queues in the trial room, and the customer is allowed say 6 units, for example, and she has to come back and go back in the trial room again after a queue. So can she use the smart fitting solution to say,
Yeah,
okay,
virtual styling.
virtual
basically.
styling. It's kind of virtual styling. It's kind of virtual styling, but probably you will see this a lot. And another problem solver for a lot of retail brands was how to measure footfalls on the stores, because when we're doing it manually, it was very different, because
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
a lot of dummy data were being put. So we have now access to technologies which do a lot of footfall counting with an accuracy rate of about 80-85%. So that's going to help us a lot in terms of defining the problem statements, or when the business go up and down, what is the real problems. Just otherwise the store manager would say, sir, there's no footfall, but it's never the case.
Yeah, but as you were telling that customers are actually seeing products online and moving to brick and mortar spaces to buy them, now that with the incoming of virtual styling or smart fitting rooms, I think that problem will be solved.
So
up
the
to
point
some
is,
level.
in that very ecosystem of the ambience of the store, in the ambience where you can still try the product, you have an access to, okay, how am I looking at that, and can I convert better?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, giving experience also to the customers that brick and mortar spaces provide.
See, eventually, of lately, last probably few quarters, we everybody understand the consumption has gone down. So in spite of targeting on acquiring new customer, because the consumption is going down, why I need to find ways to
retain
that
old
customer,
customers.
and if I can sell a unit more, or if I can service a little more to the same consumer, so probably she might not convert into a transaction today, but tomorrow, yes, she will.
All right. So, Madame is a prominent player in the fashion industry. It's a household name for women fashion. So, how do you believe the success of D2C brands like yours contributes to the overall growth and innovation of this sector?
Yes, being here for a long period, we have a mission to deliver in the industry as well. We always have to be slightly forward than a lot of other players who enter now. And Madame is very special to us. Why? Because we are a family invested company with very very thoughtful capital that we invest into products and the way we expand. So as industry, I would not say industry leaders, but yes, being in the forerunner of the industry, we have to be always a step ahead than a lot of other players for people to look up to us.
Yeah, but you have been a prolific leader in this industry for so long. So tell me, how have you seen the evolution of the whole D2C sector or the whole retail sector in terms of technological advancements?
For retail space, offline particularly, the most important part before technology is the location, is the quality of real estate. Yes, and India today still lags in that quality of real estate, though we've seen a lot of shopping malls coming up, but only a few developers are sensitive enough to understand how to drive footfall into the malls. And when you talk about shopping malls, so now a lot of shopping malls are collaborating with the retail brands, launching their own CRM solutions, asking brands to partner with them on those CRM solutions, so that they can, as a mall, as a brand, they could service consumer with a better bouquet than ever before.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Akhil, for the conversation. It was a wonderful conversation. To our viewers, stay tuned for more such videos only on ET Studios, Future Brands of India, in association with ET Retail.